se asumdwe bu a ese ya no aye no mano no enye se bia o my Ghana ye ho na yakono na mom eye bibintia enu ti se aba ne saa ye nso mu yi pa
Hadishima Maya Dobekos People's National Party PNP one more echiremu a eye mami getru da bato konu ne suspension no one more abonka techi dia koma otumfo se wono so hwe na wonfana no entum ebi
soafo ya wo hwe ema ene memma nkoda na afi asetremu yedie so echire se lipusika na yedema omanfo a sebi wo mu ni bie no aban apejamu
Yedobeko ahafo na adehye no mu bia wo mo ewo channel so wo mo kiremu se 1D1F no nyame adom wo mo enya bi wo hodom na so besi ne yentimi emfra ne se eye company na se factory nti abanhwe na wo mewie emfama wo mo
wode futuo ama Ghana maburu nyina se wo mo mpaye da wabra won konso hwemu sense enubone de emmoa wo mo
Harishmama and somewhere Ebika will hold and you may can kind of more Paramount News Great Commission TV so Bomodia so Beko YouTube na washe a war a honor more quite yet them ubeti me ashibi. Would like you comment here a bebo papa we also know share ama afo floor and ye be and may ya Japanese not ye de and somewhere ebro a ye me na nekia a treba ata mene
Oma hene kofi asampa usama na ye honda fe yemfa nsemu nkyiremu nyina emremo Absaya se ensabna se na yenkoye nimu ene na wo my Ghana edisi ho se ebeye da ya ye bebo mpaye adatwedi empon ase sanse wo hwe eniem ahodo ya ekoso amanaman na wo my Ghana yeda so etiasumdwe mu ya na seye se yedatwedi empon ase enam so ema nempenifu ahodo ye wo aban mu wo nyina ekokusia ye ewa bankesiem aboboa no hodo mu a ya wo mode osumi esise so enu akikura no muslimi die so ekoso ewo kanda na abra Christopher de yi egusu anopa no aya ekoso no ana Ghana mampani John Dramani Mahama egira simpie na paso ya wokasa no wekire se wohwe o my Ghana sumdwabu a ye no ano na eniem ahodo ekoso ewa amama ya atwa ye ho asia ene obehwe yesiku koso wochina behwe yesi mampani oteso nsi fom saa de ma nyina se o my Ghana ebi entro ye ya na eno nkire se o my Ghana ye ho na yakono ye ho na efentia de bi emom adumbi ena aso yeso eno nti saa asumdwe a yetimu no mayem fa ne keke saa yemomoden na yenye de betimi bia na yenhwe se nioma ahodo a ebeboa ama asumdwe atimi abaye mamu nko a ene nioma ahodo a yepeye ewo omanmu mpani kasa ya wode Ghana fo kasa ye no yentie de etoa so bie.
Faith can divide nations. Our faith in Ghana unites us. In Ghana, churches and mosques do not compete for dominance. They coexist in mutual respect and in dignity. Our different traditions and our backgrounds have not weakened us. They have strengthened us in our shared identity. This is a precious gift we must protect. Let us remain vigilant against the voices of tribalism, against the voices of religious extremism that harm. Let us be honest in our dealings. Let us be generous in our compassion. And let us be upright in our conduct. We must hold those in authority, including myself, accountable to the highest standards of integrity and humility. Public office is not a privilege for personal gain. It is a sacred trust bestowed by the people and a responsibility to serve all, especially the most vulnerable of us. Even the office of the president, which by the grace of God I now hold, is not above the law. Leadership must be grounded in justice, in honesty, and a reverence of God. If we want a just Ghana, we must be just in leadership. A nation's greatness is not measured by the heights of its skyscrapers or the size of its budget. The values of its people are the true measure of a nation's greatness. The virtues of courage, of honesty, of discipline, of sacrifice, and compassion are what really measure the greatness of any nation. It is in these quiet strengths that the true power of our country, Ghana, resides. It is through these virtues that we will rise and prosper. I extend my most profound appreciation to the Church, from the Assemblies of God, to the Catholic Bishops' Conference, to the Christian Council of Ghana, to the Pentecostal and Charismatic Council, and every fellowship denomination of Christendom, and indeed to all believers across this land. Thank you for being our moral anchors in the storms of life. The chairman and members of the National Day of Prayer and Thanksgiving, thank you for your tireless work and spiritual vision. You've planted a seed of national renewal that will bear fruit for generations to come. Faith can divide nations. Our
Hanishima Magara Wampeni and no na Yeguswa Ejina and Ejumadi Cassia Yedi or my Ghana emo. And I'm so enti Emma and Intini and Impam and a Coco Chasia ye and would Jumedia ye ase. Now one more a buy ye a be a ye his eminence Cardinal Peter Kwajo Apia Texan or Bobby PMO and would Jumedia ye ase. Na bra when ya simply pa no wajina so any Ghana for etche and como and what did you just say? E was a Ghana for ye shepa na empo ye bu kompoko hwe e be kwa ye fra siasa ye ti Ghana besi ye nei na nyame adom e basabasa yo bia entime e maye e watimi ne wakame bia no enkonkosore ye ma ne humne so e wo man Ghana mu e madane de nyina Ghana ye wo ya somdwe no e wose ye gina sa de we so na ye bo modia ye bo empaye wose dwumadi amampani e de aba na empo brano nyina afia bia no ye bedi no e bebo papa eti sedru wono ma Ghana fo nyina emfa wo mo enhyem emfa ho se wodom kuo bi anase osum bi ne nyina no fa ho hyem ne ye nyina ye mompaye na ye ndima oman Ghana esanse bebo papa ama Ghana no yetimi akekere na yakekere ni ye.
The regional capitals of this land to give thanks to God, but under the particular theme that is being presented to us so very many times already, that of reflection, reset, and renewal for national prosperity. I just like to observe that these are not mere words. They are rather, and again as has been observed by various religious speakers before me, these are also a call to moral clarity, national courage, and spiritual awakening for fashioning a Ghana of opportunities for an inclusive well-being of its children. To reflect is to see clearly both our blessings and others. To reset is to turn away from these blind spots that lead to destruction, division, corruption, and the very many evils that again have been talked about here. And to renew is to recommit ourselves individually and collectively to the common good. For prosperity in this light is not simply the accumulation of wealth, but the flourishing of all children of this land, For it is what economies of development have represented us: people's access to food, people's access to water, people's access to shelter, healthcare, education, security, and peace. And so, with this, then let this gathering of ours mark not only a moment of gathering to give thanks and gratitude to God, but also a turning point in our own shared journey towards a more just, compassionate, and a unified country. For indeed, my dear friends, the word thanksgiving, used in the Old Testament several times, is not only to give thanks to God, the original capitals of this land, to give thanks to God, but under the particular theme that is being presented to us so very many times already, that of reflection, reset, and renewal for national prosperity. I just like to observe that these are not mere words. They are rather
National Day of Thanksgiving and Prayer Service emu na atifedo mantemu so ebi ekoso honom ya omanfo penifo ahodo ye honom ekasa wo ho a enam so ema mantem no soafo oronyamfo John Ali Adolf ono so ekasa wo dwumadie na se bie ya wo kire se wo hwe kwan a Ghana mabunu enam so enum nu bone ewo manmu na eye nwanwa papa kwabra ne gira ho a enwa no so waye san adan asmanum red sa na mai akoso a osirada se babia duri ehia so o man nyina be kan ho abomu na etutu ye ho fo enum nso emofra yi enhwe na wontwe ho mfiri ho na ade baako a ebetumi aye mu da hia da pa eye mpaebo wose da ne da nyina emaburu mo mpaye no ene ade ebetumi abo mo na atumi amo mo dache papa.
Our president, behind our leadership, I always ask persons that if the president is not from your party and the election loss pained you, when we rise and we say we should pray for the president, what kind of prayer will you pray for him? But set everything aside and let us pray for him, because God says that we should pray for people in authority so that there will be peace on the land, so that God will tune their mind and direct them. We want Ghana to progress. If food is in abundance, if prices of goods are down, if everything is fine, all of us will enjoy. So let us pray and in unison for the presence of God to keep continuing being there. Keep trusting God and allow Him to guide the nation. Beloved, we need to work hard. Hard work. If you are work hard, you need to work hard. Don't take things for granted. That's why we give them posts and they are there. They are champions. They are there. They sit in swiveling chairs and they move around in the day to 8 hours. They are gone home. Nothing is happening. If we don't change our attitude towards our nation, if we don't change our behavior in our workplaces and wherever we find ourselves, Ghana will remain as it is.
Knowing that our individual efforts will culminatively build a stronger and more prosperous nation. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our youth are the future, as it is always said. However, this future is being jeopardized by the rising canker of drug abuse. It has now become fashionable for our youth to engage in drug abuse with the mindset of enjoying themselves. We need to make this issue a prayer point, to pray earnestly to secure our future as a nation. Religious leaders, invited guests, let us again pray for our leaders for wisdom, discernment, and integrity in their decision-making, and for every Ghanaian contributing to the development of our nation.
Let's unite and come together behind our president.
encha ye bia e na ebe abeto dwa say University of Ghana ye yade covid wo mo enya bi e wo hono mo a wo mo kire mu se hwehwemu abede di se nipa ba ko mienu bi de wo mo etime enyam bi enam so enti amosofo wo no hwe apomode ho ensam so ononyafo kwabena minti akando ne empanifo bomode ato nsafre no se mrahye bedwam wo mre na wo medane dane nyomani wo hono mo miebie nyomani so se ampani ampa se ni nuane ampa covid-19 ebi apie mo e University of Ghana hono mo anase empo eyebosemu kansam na ene wadose eyoyo kopie mu mrahye bedwam na abi okopie mu wo hono mo e na honorable minti akando de tu dwa se yi ede ukọ eyesu apo no emudi a enkofo 316 ena womo esusu se womo enya yade yi ebi na womo hwehwe mu nso no emu 107 ampani ampa womo enya yade yi ebi na de woka nyina ne se mpanifo egu ahoboa so a womo ehwe okwaya wombefa so wombeso saade yi ano ene emponu ahodo wombehwe na womo ede ama emabunu ye wo hono mu na womo atimi ede aba omo ho ban wo se yenji wo bia ento ayaresabia ena empo no obibia eni ho no mo ye de akwakwahye dem se ye quarantine no anase bibisa obia nso emfamu hwere ne nkwa na emom de obeka nyina ne se covid-19 ne ba ye enhyehyeye wo mo de gu apono so ye hohoro ye nsa ye hye nose mask empo ye tena ye ntete ye ntamu no wo mo ema ne nyina enye adwuma ebeboa na empo ye timi aso ano
to update this house and through you the people of Ghana on the recent development at the University of Ghana that has attracted national attention. The Speaker, while COVID-19 is no longer regarded as a global health emergency, it has not disappeared. Like many other viruses, we anticipate it to flare up occasionally, especially during certain seasons. In recent weeks, our National Disease Surveillance System detected an increase in cases at the University of Ghana. These cases have been traced to a familiar variant, the Omicron subvariant, which we have managed before. It spreads easily, but fortunately, it usually causes mild illness. Mr. Speaker, the recent COVID-19 cases are localized at the University of Ghana community only. I'm proud to inform this House that the cases were detected through Ghana's influenza surveillance system and confirmed by the Noguchi Memorial Institute for Medical Research. This national network of sentinel sites operates across all 16 regions. While many countries have scaled down or even stopped routine COVID-19 testing, Ghana has continued to integrate COVID-19 monitoring into its broader surveillance of respiratory viruses. This foresight and commitment to preparedness allowed us to detect the current outbreak easily and respond swiftly. It is a clear demonstration of Ghana's leadership in maintaining vigilance even after the end of the global emergency phase. This should reassure all Ghanaians that should there be any cases outside the university campus, our surveillance system remains active and ready to detect and respond effectively. Mr. Speaker, as at now, 316 suspected cases, 107 of those cases have been confirmed as COVID-19. Fortunately, Mr. Speaker, there are no hospitalizations and, more importantly, no deaths. Thank you for the opportunity to update this House and through you, the people of Ghana.
So for ya wohwe ema ene mema emofra enafe asetemu yedieso eye odumunyamfo Dr. Agnes na Momolati na wadi nkomo ya wo kire se wohwe lip sikaya yedema emobrofo ewo omayimu na aban eba ye nhyehyeye ene enuoma ahodo a wo mde agu akwan mu no wo matimi apagya sika de mukane na ejina Ghana yesidi ahanson adwenu enwotwe atiripo enwotwe million no na sese di aban aye ne se wapagya mu e de akọ million no ahankron ene adwenu mu miensa atiripo num 953.5 million Ghana cedis na sese yi wadanda mu e de amamamfo afe wɔkyerɛ sɛ enipa nso a nakane nanka yɛde sika bie ɛmɔ wɔn ne nyinaa nso so yɛpagya mu ɛde yɛfiri mpem ahasa ɛne adwenum ɛde akɔ mpem ahanan 400,000 yɛ asa nipa nyinaa ɛba bɛgye sika bie no ɛna wɔde afutuo ɛtaatoɔ sɛ yɛde sika yi ɛma wɔn mu a ɛyɛ a mɔmɔ mfa ntontoma nhyɛ wutom wobi wɔ hɔ sɛ yi a ada sika no bɛka ne nsa no saa da na ne nkɔm bɛɛdɛ wɔsi dabi ne nyinaa da ma ɔmo nye bi wɔn nhwɛ sɛ ɔmo de sika no bɛyɛ ade a ebetumi aboa wɔn ama wɔtena bi wɔn betumi anya bi kakra nso ɛde ato wɔn no ɛne ade a wɔn yɛ a ebetumi aboa wɔn.
One eligible member household has increased from 256 Ghana cedis to 320 Ghana cedis. Amount for 2 eligible member households has increased from 304 Ghana cedis to 380 Ghana cedis. The amount for 3 eligible member households has also increased from 352 Ghana cedis to 440 Ghana cedis. Finally, the amount for 4 or more eligible household member households has increased from 424 Ghana cedis to 530 Ghana cedis. Fishery household to prioritize household nutrition, children's education, and investment in income generating activities. The government of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is determined to reduce the cost of living by making the right and appropriate decisions to stimulate Ghana's economic growth and development.
Agnes na momo lati wache mo lipi no eyadia aba na kofi lipi obia na ebenye bi anase ya kwankofo bia
target ya wo de ma wo mu
okay
ti wo mo hwe sa target nipa bi a wo onu a woni hwe oni dwuma bi a wodi ekunu woni bi
okay
ya so nkoda gu ho yes so wo hwe wo mu no
okay
na wo mo de ma wo na age limit no so omo hwe age limit yansa obetimi de amom ma mpenifo a ekunu ni ho akoda so ho adwuma bi nso nka ho saa mo frɛ maba we ya na sɛ emewei na wo mota aboa wo mo pa
nti ye mu sɛ de wunya
dabi
okay
wo se wo nka ho
ukwa adwuma de wunya okay nti ye wo nkofo a ye de ma mo Ghana obi bɛka sɛ ye chiche lip ne kora manya bi no woni mu sɛ wo nka ho nti nkofo bi wo ho no ma ya pa wo mo a ye de ma wo mo nti no ma me wo sesese de enche be hate mo account munya yi ntoma no na mo fa nhwe nkwada no ebeboa mo dache ni sem bi o kan ye eno no ebusu ayenko ensemfoforo emwe na Chief Justice Edema Omai Ghana sese wo suspension mu eye mami Gertrude Arabatokono Esa Basaki na nse beto odwase petition akopie mu mampani honom enam so enti ema mene wo kasa ide ya twe no asensan se omomodi akonko honom ye hwehwe ne nse mu empo petition na nkofo ne de koye no kura wom anase no kura enimu enam so ema Ghana de aye pinso ewo bekwa na wotwe mu ye wono akasa koye nsemtwefo ehia mu na hwemudie ya se no de to dwase se de ye de no efa ekwan bi so no wo dipa se ayamanyosem enya sa na eye Supreme Court anase empo no eye yemra kuni constitution no woka edefa eye Supreme Court judge ho entide akọ ni nyina no na echese eye politically motivated ni sembia wade tu dwa eno no wenam so amagana nation no mo kire wo madwen no akra GBF de wo mo de ba ye ene People's National Party etwanity ase PMP wo panipa wada wo mo ano eye maame Janet eye nabla wono so abonkrata che de akopie mu asante mantem wachemu se wade koma asante hene ote kokoso eye otumfo osetutu se wo momodian na asemi wono so emfa ne ho enjimu epi esanse wono no wade ne ho jimu a anhwa se de anoma akono wo mbesesa wo madwen ewo ho yenkonkotie ne nsam a wade tudwa ewa abekọ de krate enkoye na emposemtwefo wo mo ebusa no ne nantise.
Political parties are supposed to run a country. And to run a country, whatever is happening to the Chief Justice is not part of running the country. We have seen that as an abuse, not only on the Chief Justice, but the women of Ghana. We see what the NDC, John Mahama administration, what whatever they are doing to the woman as an abuse of power. And we think that since all protocols are no longer working, our justice system has become an annex of political parties. We decided that we will come to Mensia Palace because we know that our tradition has already shown us. They were there before this democracy we inherited came along. So if our democracy is not working, we will go back to our roots and ask the chiefs, who are the custodians of the land, to tell the Mahama government, who is just renting part of the land to operate, to call him to order. So today we are here we've presented our petition. We've cried about whatever violations are emitting out to the Chief Justice. We've outlined them in the petition, and we have given it to the Otumfuo's secretary. Political parties are supposed to run a country.
Koda ye twam we na June bosome da na to so aduonu enum na yoku adwemfo ebudu mu ewo enkran ene tamale afan ba bi ya na wo mo yi operation nam so ma wura Abdul Hanan Wahab wone ne hukani wo mo edwo mo ebegina mu ewo yoku asoye na wo no asem no na ewo se wo ma wura Abdul Hanan Wahab bill openi na kane na wo national buffer stock company no na wo yesiwu ede ema wo mo na sede esikwaye no yoko kire se ombema ne beria age se otua Ghana cedi opepe aduenum 50 million Ghana cedis na yire nso 30 million na ekoba ne seye afi aloyafo na makire na wo mode yamanyosem kasa wo ho na asem no wo mugidi ye pa se yamanyosem nti nam so ene o makasa fa ho a nene na sisala wasemra sebedwani oronyamfo Mohammed Adams Sakparu wono so kasa wo ho no kire se wo hwe ekwan a aloyafo yi nam so na wo mo kasa nsemi ho a enya kono wo munim de ye wo munim de se yama obi bail so sei na se wo bibi ya e wo so de kokot na ukopre se ye nte so mfama wo enya kasa bibiripi enti obesrada na wo de futuo ama owura Wahab na lawyerfo se so munim bibi na omo bibi so ya eye court ene sese wo mukọ.
You know, as a country, we for some time now we said we are going to fight corruption because that has been one of the greatest enemy to the progress of this country. And so when you are fighting corruption, what do you seek to achieve? There are two things that you seek to achieve. First, one is to prevent people from, you know, taking public office into their own hands, trying to use it to, you know, maximize profit for their personal gains. That is one thing. And also to ensure that there's trust and our country in terms of handling our own affairs. And so for me, I can also speak to the fact that whether or not he was first invited, but be it as it's me, when you say you want to fight corruption, I don't think that is for political gains, but some of these things, somebody sitting in the office or the current chief executive officer or the MD of GHOC, if he sees how Kofi Juma was arrested at Kumasi and even transferred from Kumasi to CID headquarters, that alone for interrogation, that alone to me would serve as deterrent to him, so for him to sit up. You know, when persons who allegedly cause crimes, and we say
the president's caution to directors of SOEs is not a deterrent enough?
It is enough. The former president Nana Akufo-Addo did the same, but today what are we saying? He did say, you remember his first public address at the Independence Square, I mean the sworn in. You remember the statement he made that if you are coming to his government just because you want to make money, then you should be smiling at the wrong side of your mouth. But if you want to make money, you should go to the private sector. But in the end, look at what we're seeing. What he's been accused of is about some state vehicle being in his possession and some, you know, all kinds of things. So for me, it is time for us to treat. We cannot say that an ordinary theft issue of, let's say, somebody who has stolen a goat that one they should go in a Rambo style to go and arrest that particular alleged suspect. And when somebody who is allegedly probably stolen an amount belonging to the state that can really actually buy millions of goods, we say that such people should be invited to come by themselves. Of course, that is the process. That is one of the means, that they could explore. But they decide to go in that way to arrest. That is what I'm saying, that in doing all of these things, that alone is part of sending a certain signal to those, even apart from the caution the president has given them, those serving in government, that if you also make a mistake and you do same, and a day for accountability comes, like today, this is how you are going to be dealt with. And that will be ringing a certain bell in their minds that when I do something like this, if somebody can be arrested, right, and transferred from Kumasi to the CID headquarters because he's keeping state, vehicles in
Mama,
his possession.
Yanko and some food for a way. Now, 1D, 1 federal, 1 district, 1 factory, that is a company. And another Danko for Dona Memu and what they buy, yeah, what you say a better. Now, in po factories, I could yesterday, a woman Timbia emo, said the bear a bubwa papa. Na obibia enya edwuma aye na okopie mu ewo ahafo a yet no so hono no ka ho ebi ekura yi wo mu kire mu sa nyamnya dom ye cheche no ebi so wo mo so e ma wo mu de no de wo mu nyaye no enke be ya bricks na tiles ewo hono mo ene wo mu dane ani na chese wo mo so ekra be ma mabunu enya edwuma aye ewo hono wo mu kire mu mampani efrasie yi ede wo mu heha wo mu ani nka nsamo de obomodi a ohamu ebupen aduo watwe enum 85% de mampani etimi ewie ya nanka ebeka kakra bi no wawie etimi ede aye adwuma nanso wantimi ama mawie yeto abati anu wo mu kire mu edan sese no aye nkusie dan ene obekọ no nkrama di agoro enantwie ne wonkeka ho ehono ma ene wo mu gura to pressa enti ne wo mu de adesrede eto aban ya wabaye nim so wo mu moden a na wo mawie mfa ma wo mu eye machines ahodo nioma ahodo bi ebetimi de aye bricks any tiles no one family womo say the beya womo so beda de na ani emabunu so ebenya adwuma aye yenkokọ no me adehye mo epi womo ed womo esunu womo hawo eto Ghana for any empanifo enim say
on what the pocket money na best start project we ya project na koduru baby ana aban ba mu say PPP mbaba buano ama oye adwuma na ndi ye ni say nyame adom omo be ye project na ni kire ya na tanasoman yeso ye ho adwe kakra anu ntimi amu start omo sisi adan no nyame anim ni okohwe wo pa na enije ye bodwa awo ho etwe na nado ama no be ka ya be kasa kakra akọ runs akọ hwe adan a omo sisi oni nyina ehunu say ampa dimo aye die no another papa no die no ababua o man Ghana afi aya kakra no akọ ni mu na papa na sabodin sika yim saloko na sika sema ya drama nti wodani to se aban amwa no na ontimi nya sa factory no aban babua no aban anse enne akwakọ wi se aban aman babua se wodi woni ko se de wasi afu wodi se de wasi aya na hwa adan a lekonu di sika esisi ye a utimu se papa na sika wonu mu ya kacha asa na tata mi na fi no so wakra enyama wode ba abaya factory enti ya dia se aban aba be boanya ama factory na asore jare na so a tana so ma bada na se pa
sajuma we uche ke de bia abeko be di pa 1000 no mu
oba start project ye feni
mama na eno no penifo e kire mu se ne adre wo mo behia emo papa esanse de adre no akato na bro na wo mo awie wo mo wie so beboa mabunu benya adwuma ye na ekuro mu hono mo so wo mo ho etimi aso wo mo adeheba mankwancha de efe na so sika na ye de eye ye betwa ye ho akwakoje aboafo enkracho aba ye ba ye do beko obi man so ensem emu enye afide no enfri hanum YouTube ye dem obetimi ahwe live ewo ehonom ye ba sisia
anuano ne adafo mede nkyira sonko ede mu obi biara saamre ohwe me wo kasamfoni eso medin de nana otafrija owusu agiman mene kwankyerefo a meda time heba ano ene ede adura to din time heba mesha yede abadwama so ene baabi abefa bia drugstore heba shop pharmacy shop baabi ade kansa time heba mesha ni abone mran se TIME wasa kaisa time no TIME juma edie ne se esa malaria fever pepa cho wo bi a wakọ hospital na lab ni aka cho se malaria fever na se etridie e wo mogya mu dia edura wo behia eye time heba mesha time heba mesha ne ade a wonya bi na no no ma ebeboa yi saa malaria parasite no afiri woni padua no emu ne nam sent obu abosi na num ato ontumi ni di obu okura otumi ka se me de me soro kwampa mentekom obesoro ne waye boho obu abosi obesoro na awode no ebeduru awia no wate esi ebeduru nimre na wasan eda ho bosina no ho na epusi chechechechecheche obenya penkra bi awe ebeduru nimre na wasan eda ho pepa cho oyo obi a wutie me na wo hwe me a bomade na koto saa tam heba me shaibi kokoto eduru bi na so eduru hwe na hu dwuma tam heba me shan edie sanse eduru ne eduru a wono ma eboa ma otumi didin eboa ma otumi anumsuo eboa ma otumi adwonso yare we kwampa betena fidie so na manka na so usu eduru na ekọ dane dade meta kan se nyankopon ene sayade ayar safiri onyankopon na so de adua tam heba mehyamu to onya bina no ma ebetu aboa papa obu abo so ase na ase ehyehye no ne honam edwa no okoto kete so a ontumi na nani begusu saa ma ade ache menua ba me papa me maame a wotie be ya ade a emwa obu okwadare dabo se na pressure na ewosoro obu okọ pressure na ya ma ne nu a wonom na so na ewosoro ade ntrebi obekọ hospital obekọ akwa check no na ne malaria parasite na akosoro ne sent na cover saa o how na ade abre no me pacho wotie me abomaden na no time heba me shane bi obetimi dia waduro no na no pa awia ene enumre na ebeboa madane da wanya apomde soronko emri maame bi ne me kasai wo so on time ba me shan empare woda krokran pa wanum bi se woto kwaro wanya bi anom a na no honam yere basabasa sanse no kwasem se de nubra enu tahini ne haha wodo ene ayatwetwum nsuo na dia time heba me shano na adwuma edie ne de me pacho esewani esese e ka kire ni nyina ne se wo abeto aduro bi na waso aduro na wo hu dwuma aduro no edie sanse mpanifo se wiase mu obi bekọ abeka kire wa entese wa akohu sanse wani sama yense opreka bomade ne bowura drugstore heba shop okwa ankasa meto aduro bi akeke okwa also petam heba mesha obu aye ka ne se won fa aduro ne din entry trim obekọ drugstore heba shop no afi no kwa kwachirechire ma kire ho ametesi obi kasa na wo chirechire me yade yele pa no waka ho asem no yebebu sanse ye aduro be o se aduro ne de me wura fi afi ni akofa aduro bi ane de ama no da ne da asama meta ka ne se emperenfo se kokọ na mapema omu nyina ne pe ne so so obi ane ne ntakra na ma akokọ yakasi o na so ntakra bo ane de fanyinam kwatre kwa obeto aduro na aduro ne tibe mwa won de ka wanto aduro ne krampo ankaye ne sentra make for time heba mesha make for de amasa bomade na nunum bi na yade a ebeto aboa papa ama won so watumi ade ho wo akra wo boarding house ofrinfie du mienu ekwa wototo ye ne provision wototo ne ma akwa na school mu no na wato time heba mesha ne bi na wo de akwa no sanse mprepin wo fia ne afro na oba ne yare o na aba na waye hoya na oba no se ka nyame nko anka bibi yaye no mesro no time heba mesha ne bi a utobi de mana yade a ebetumi aboa no enu akire ye de time herbal capsules and afi ye de ne mesha so no ye de aba edwama so no na ye duro no betuma no capsules no anase ne mesha no na obi bisa se herbal capsules ana ne mesha no dwuma be na edie broni ka bi se general well-being na ya kasa na je se nipa efiri wo na se kopimutin onu madura etime boa esiesi ho brasses ene red brasses no amadane dare ebanya hode stronko na aboa ama kwatia yarewa ahodo me pacho yo obi a wutie me dane da yare bia baba bia no utumi nya bi dane da no na waye mbre na honam na waye boho a wono no tam haba mesha anase de capsules su bia ya ade a ebeboa ama so watumi adon ho me pacho ye be ma na se wutie me wodwonso na obe mam ahyehyew ensansa na begugu be ma ho a obokura bosina moja na efirimu na eba no tam haba mesha anase de capsules no obokura ho abosina honam no ase bibi ne nanam na wana mu na so bro de nsa be kan ohunu hwe obobo sase na dikosua ase ni trima se kukodwie bi ene na mu me pa cho nom tam haba misha anasa de capsules ne bi ni pa dodo na na yusu aduro bi e ma danse ahudi fa aduro ho enya asem ketwa me pa cho yo ba na se wutie me obo sran so na nsuo na ifiri wase na eba obo ha de bosome so a ifiri okoro bo se nsuo na egu no obo abo se na enka wom me pa cho nya tam haba misha anasa de capsules ne bi a ebebo yisa o ha we afiri ho esan beboa amaware aso emperefo so obanyansane yeburumbe na yenka na sam timpacho yo ba na wutie mi a fatam ba mesha anase tam echecha ba mesha na capsules ne bi fire waduro na yade a entimi emwa o ebehia masaka wonom tam ba mesha no na kare tam echecha ba capsules anase ne mesha no eka ho na ebasade a eboa papa emba wapomde ne timi CP isita bowra drugstore herbal shop pharmacy shop ye number egu screen so betima hwe na wafre yen number ye 0244 417 669 0244 417.
ama yenda wase se utanse echipre etwane ye ne kase no eko amahodo so ensem emu na be na kakra ni na Thailand ene Cambodia man no menteme ho ase asore ewo montem nam se wo mo bodaye a wo mo ehero wo mo atwe asase ho manso pa nam so matututuo eko so wo aman mi no asrafo ntem a enam so ema Cambodia sra ni baako efa mu ehwere ne nkwa enam so ama bodaye da wo montem no obi ato ne dem so obi nko obi kuro so na dansei ena ene bi ena mabonten se eye Thailand Prime Minister ena wone Cambodia mampani edi nkomo na enkomodidi a wo mu edi enimu na abetodwa se Prime Minister ya wo Thailand awura Patontan Shenewatra awura yi enkomodie ya wone Cambodia mampani edi ni nyina ne se wotwi Thailand asafo mpinifo nanim eti eni ba abonten pe ene omanfo ene ombuafu papa ya wo ma sore se ba bia dru die Prime Minister wo mpɛ no wonsi fom ene wo ma no court ba tra asem no so wo asem no a ema emu nson de wo mo se da bi maame no wo mpɛ no eti awura Patontan se ne watra yi wonsi fom na wo mpɛ no mpempen ya ya kasa yi de Prime Minister ya wo no na be de akire suri ya zurungwanket wono ena wo hwatiri se Deputy Prime Minister Ediama Thailand akuyantino na chese de wo mu no oh let's oh I for di no yasem papa oh yasem na sadi eyiye asia ye no se entokwa na omo kono etututu e koso ya masre ni bako efa mo hwere ne nkwa na so edi we nyina aba eti akuya na tase de egwo mu no ya etututu na e koso ewo Thailand ne Cambodia asrafo ntem na akwafa we nyina de aba ne ya suspend maami se wonkotena fie aha
ebusia yentu aso na yenko enije ensam emu yeko enije ensam dia na ene Nigeria nyumtuni baako anidi edi Innocent idibia ekofo dodo na efreno se tu baba wodi atudwa na wo kire mu se eya addition mo ebi eka se empo no maware mi kunu na so ontimi entena me nko ame ho na ne na wonenam osese de yakopon ebo emema no womo se womo emedo nimpa ba ko na pa se woni nimpa ba ko betena se me hu kani ene sebe ne kondo ba bia no wode akosa aba ne so de ne da bi wose womo no de se de bi ka ne se womo ye polygamous no wose saa na womo tie ɛnye wo mo entimi tena nipa ba ko ho enti wote wonom na wo yoba na ade ahye wotirim se mikunu me ware ne sese me ho ye fesese wodo me sesen eye dan ya wo befa machi kakra eno betimi aboa papa mo wani ache na ade hye mu se mikunu de oyo soro abofo me nko an wo ware me ye me nko an na me ne betena de ose de bia be ha wo saa wodi agetum se be ma na ye dan ya na se wamfa nyame ansuro awurade pa de a ene ode befa ba bi wo se wo mo musuro awurade ne de wamo ware ya nipa ba kwa na omutimi tira ne ho nanso ene genzi ba difo ya bayi wose no de ye dan wode befa nkwanchen baabi nanso ne nyina mu no na de mpai ba ta na chi isanse nyankopon beboa na wasesa na dwen ama natena nko a wo ho eno ne ensam ebia wode atudwa ewusia na ye begira so na yede ensam no asi ene enwumre ye bobo ansam no anu from Ghana edikopie mu ewo obi man so apomuden baabi saranso na etwadie omayi ye mpotempote mudie ni nyina ena ye kabomwa ene yede asmoaseda enkonfama ena guard medicated toothpaste Go Same Travel and Tour Hola Sevilla Helper Center for Apostolic Ministerial Apprenticeship womu nyina ena kabo mo enwere womu aboye chidoma so yase kama ena yede ensam ede abro emema ahwefo ene etiefo nyina yebeda womu ase papa se womu etimi ehwe ye ene ya ye jebre ede ensam ebre wo eyeme na nekua acheba ata mene
obahene kofi asempa enimediamsia edamu nyina se mo jebre na mo hwe ye ne fi haso womu aboaye ma ede ensam beso mu nyina aseda enkomo bibia yedwase nyame yadom a wakira ebesan enu ahia yakrawo